He is going to lock that in, but still a chance that TF is in the top lane. And besides the TF ult, I mean, you have Ash Arrow. Crescent Guard's pretty good. Wild Growth can be kind of obnoxious. Looking for the Yorick here.
Okay, so they keep the TF in the mid lane, put the Yorick up to the top lane against the Rumble. A lot of control from T1 in terms of the stun cards, the Ash Arrow. But I feel like the team fight from DPLUS is just so explosive. They can get on this back.
Here for game number 1. As we are ready, let's hop onto the Rift. Alrighty, game number 1. As we're getting ready for DK versus T1. And Showmaker already bringing out a pretty interesting pick. You know, nowadays it feels like the mid-meta, you know, you've seen some counter picks with the Nivea into Ryze, Cassiopeia into Ryze and stuff like that, but it's been a lot of Annie, a lot of Aurora.
I mean, it does look with that skin like she is on fire. So, fitting, but... Oh, heavy trade coming in.
Yeah, Arrow's going to be picked up here. As Smash going to cleanse, but he's still slowed up. Has to flash away. Pays autoing career, though. Tons of damage comes in. I feel like he could have gotten that kill if he just auto smash.
Yeah.
That's still a good trade here for T1's bottom lane.
Yeah, put that extra auto into career. I think...
But he doesn't have his bottom lane at the moment, so I suppose kind of a pocket of time here found by Lucid.
Gotta respect the Trundle so much as well. Especially when you do see a dive coming in here. TF committing as well.
We do have Lucid running down the lane, but it might be a little bit late as the damage already into Smash. First blood going to be found as the Encore's there, but too little too late. Doesn't really do anything. Doesn't even keep them under the tower as Showmaker here, but this is 4v5, or rather 4v3 in favor of T1. Showmaker going to go in with the Crescent Guard, and now Lucid trying to come over with a TP we do have from the side of Shiu. Doran doesn't have his TP, so DK is still trying to fight this one out. Pays gonna avoid the stun as Faker finds Shiu, and he's like, oh, didn't know that the Rumble was here, and now might just burn down to the Equalizer. Shield comes out, but he is dead, and now Smash on the follow-up. The Wild Growth is there, but T1 are way too deep, and they will be punished big time in the DPLUS Kia jungle.
The TP coming in is such a big difference maker for DPLUS to be able to clean up all those kills.
Did have Doran getting some plates in top lane. Looks like there's only one plate left, actually, so definitely a good chunk there, at least in the trade, but yeah, certainly a good way for DPLUS Kia to get back in this game.
I feel like even though the gold, team gold, is pretty even, oh no.
Yeah, he's going to throw out the Crescent Guard, but Rumble very good at getting into melee range, and now Showmaker comes in with the Destiny. Owner in a lot of trouble, flashes over to Faker, but dies anyway, as now Doran is going to come down here to help out against Showmaker. And I think in this 2v1 they should be able to trade it back, and that they do.
And Lucid takes his time to move down towards bot again to try and put some pressure down here. Carry and Pays back away.
And we'll have to wait and see what soul we do get. Faker says, I'm going to protect this turret. Shiu says, well, I'm going to try to do a bunch of damage to you. Lucid is going to come in here and try to tank up this turret. As the Ash Arrow is already coming in, it is going to miss, though, and Faker, super squishy still, is going to be taken out, as it is a Chemtech Soul.
Yeah, damage is
certainly was one of the options T1 could have gone for, but instead went for the last pick, Yorick. And it does look like T1's just going to go ahead and try to take the Rift Herald down. We do have TP available for Shiu.
I think T1 are doing a good job of controlling areas, getting set up with their composition. That's exactly what they want to do. DPLUS trying to challenge here.
It's too late. I mean, they come in here and they see it's already at like 1,000 health. So they're like, oh, okay, I guess you just get the Rift Herald.
Yeah, just got to supervise them doing it. But I think T1's composition, you know, you get control, you can kind of keep them at a distance with. They did that for that second dragon. They did that for that Herald to great effect. Now
the arrow. Oh! Showmaker on the ball here.
Yeah, does have the Merc treads, so maybe could have lived even if it did hit, but would not be a fun time.
Doran trying to back on a ward here. He's going to find himself face to face with a pillar. He's trying to get back to his ghoulie wall. Has a TP from his teammate Faker coming on up. Bit of damage is done to Showmaker here as now the Destiny follow-up is going to come in from Faker after the TP, and they're just chasing them all the way down the lane. Lucid, nowhere to go, gets flashed on, has to flash away, but the slow comes in, and the flash gold card is there. It's 2 kills for T1 in the top lane.
DPLUS go for the aggressive play, but just don't really have the damage to cut through Doran at this point. He is pretty bulky, and T1 make them pay for it. They do lose out on the...
You have the Drake coming up in 40 seconds.
Going to the Drake fight, I think, wants to get a bit of a higher value team fight ultimate. So, DPLUS pushed in.
So you're going to face check Doran here, that ghoulie wall, a little bit short. The equalizer as well, not going to last very long. And Shoes is being out-traded here as the maiden and the ghoul smacks him in the back and takes him down. Doran here as well. The Crescent Guard saves his life. And Doran picks up the double kill. He's 4-0 right now. As a TP comes in, Showmaker gets hit by an arrow, and it's just disaster after disaster for DK. As T1, they call the bluff, and they win the fight in a big way.
DPLUS just getting crushed on these topside plays. Doran is so strong right now on this Yorick. Just, Shibu cannot handle him, and as soon as...
With a vision disadvantage
yeah.
into all of this pick from T1, it just doesn't feel good.
I think once Faker gets wrapped on this, Yorick is a fearsome opponent for DPLUS.
They keep trying to kill this Yorick. He's just going to TP away as nope, going to get hit by the pillar. And I think this time with 3 people up here, it might be enough. I'm still not even sure, even though he's dead. That is the kill that does go over to Lucid. While we kind of have Showmaker coming over here, going to steal the Ash Arrow.
DPLUS Showmaker up against Doran, but he's
2 on Baron.
He's 3 levels down, by the way.
Yeah. And he currently doesn't have an ult as well.
Now he's 2 levels down, but they just started the Baron. Lucid does have flash, so can get into the pit if he wants to.
And they're just going to turn onto him, and immediately Lucid is in a very precarious spot. Does get that subjugate down, but now Career gets hit by the arrow, and he is dead. There's the Wild Growth on a 3. As owner knows he's got the backup from Keria. And that's just 2 free kills. T1, with their T1 Baron plays, they don't need to actually take the Baron. They just get another big gold lead off of that play.
The turn was so good from T1. They have the setup, they have the CC, they chill through this top lane with the structure of the Baron pit. He has an angle in, but they're not going to let him get close.
Yeah, all they have to do is put security guard Yorick up there on the top side of the Baron, and Lucid just kind of has to be sad about it. On top of that, as now Lucid's like, surely I can take out this war, and I'm not so sure about that, as the stolen Ash Arrow are going to delay them, but Lucid gets caught up in the wall, and even with the subjugate, just kind of falls over.
You take a step too far in your own jungle, and you're just dead. You just get jumped on, Faker turns up, feels like the whole squad's there, and Lucid goes down. Now Doran looking.
Doran is going crazy right now. He's got the backup with the Wild Growth, takes a huge amount of damage from the Rumble, and he stays alive for so long. And he doesn't care that he's dead. The rest of the team is following up. Nice help from Career, but it's too little, and it's way too late, as T1 are just kind of styling on them in their own base.
T1 definitely could have slow played this, but they opt to just burst down the enemy AD carry in this situation and to play the game a lot faster paced. DPLUS now only have the support alive. Lucid's going to respawn, but I'm not sure there's much he can do.
Yeah, it's just a Trundle without an ult, without a flash. I mean, they don't even have to kill him. They could just hit the Nexus, but they are going to do a bit more damage, pump those numbers up just a little bit, but it is a clean and dominant game 1 here from T1. From the draft to the gameplay, they were in control the whole way.
I think DPLUS needed a bit more reliable engage threats to get onto the likes of the TF and the Ash. You can't I think he kind of has free reign in this situation. I feel like a lot of our top laners would just pick a Renekton here, and that would be kind of the standard. But instead, going for the Ambessa, and there's a lot of dive threat in this T1 composition, playing into a short-ranged AD carry. And I know there's obviously the cleanse from the Milio, which is going to work against the Anivia, the Nico, but it's not going to do anything against the Vi on Bessus. So I think it's Lucian Milio could struggle.
Now let's jump out of the rift for game number 2. All right, here we go. Match 59 and then match 60 later on today will be the home front for Kium DRX up against Home Life Esports, the second match over there in Vietnam.
But Shiwu just doing a good job of soaking up the damage, being ready with the shield, and able to turn the trade around.
Lucid not very much enjoying the
cancel.
Anivia, but that's going to be the Storm coming in, and now Faker is going for a bit of a walk here in the enemy jungle.
He's not where he wants to be.
Yeah, also Anivia doesn't walk, Valdez. That was stupid. Faker flapping his wings, flying through the enemy jungle. Still flying through the enemy base.
He's wasting a lot of time.
He's getting to owner.
Yeah.
I think he lives.
There's no ult from Shiwu. Recall here. Oh, he
Lucid!
Oh, no.
No! There's a Vi there.
Faker had no mana after that, so...
Meanwhile, Shiyu is here. It's going to be the smash that does come down onto owner. And back is coming in from Faker. He is going to go into egg for sure. And I think even after all the shenanigans, the Anivia Faker will not survive. First blood does go over to Lucid after whatever that was.
That was a very extended passage of play. And Showmaker pulling ahead in the lane as well because he, you know, was just mid-farming in comparison. But a big chase that does eventually get rewarded with not only the kill on Faker, but the egg. He does...
I'll take the dragon too.
Yeah, I just don't think you want to get stuck in melee range against a Vi. Especially as the bot lane had prio, Faker's moving as well. They have complete control in this area. So it should be a pretty free pickup of this dragon.
Yeah, kind of just picking that one up without a hitch. We do have Ocean Drake on the way next.
To bait in Carrier, getting the flash from him and the ultimate. That's been a good spot. Do you see? Oh,
Showmaker in a bit of trouble. There is the extension on the stun, but at the end of the day, it's just a ton of damage going into owner. And a bit of help from Career means that Showmaker is totally safe.
I think just overestimating the damage. Career being there was a phenomenal roam timing to show up. But also you look at the inventories of owner and Faker. Faker actually has 0 AP time. And Smash gets Essence Reaver, which is honestly big for Lucian, because I feel like so often you're gated by your mana. No longer going to be a problem. More likely going to be gated by your health after you get hit by 17 skill shots in a row.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Paze and Carrier kind of been on fire here. Now, Lucid tries to go for the Smite Steal there. Does make his way in, but isn't able to find it. I think both teams just kind of feeling each other out in this one.
And now here we go once again. Faker is going to beat this one in, but Lucid is here as well. And again, owner in a bit of trouble, has to flash away, and now he's in the Cataclysm with no help from his side. Scaria also comes up here. They're going to try to take down this Nico, but he's in the storm. Lucid will get flashed on and taken down as now Showmaker goes in for the trade as the Emilio comes over and keeps him alive.
Does he have the damage?
I think just barely not as...
Oh, the stun!
Stun comes in, and that is going to get the job done. Very nicely played by Showmaker, and Career again.
So well played from Showmaker there to put down the stun as the Anivia was going to come back from the egg to get the timing to get the last kill. And he is just possessed right now on this pick, getting so much damage down across that fight. The Deathfire Touch and the Blackfire Torch combo.
It just seems very aggressive from the side of T1. I'm not sure if you get away with this, but they are going to find Career, who is now basically not a champion owner. Going to get the Rift Herald kill. Did not get the eye just yet. Shiu trying to frontline here. It looks like T1, they're just going to not get the eye.
They can't approach. And Shiwu is so tanky already. Oh, Doran's going for it.
Yeah, and he might just be able to dash his way in. And one more dash. There it is. Picks it up, uses it immediately. Trying to get into the action. Herald. It's going to miss the ult, but now losing in an awkward spot. And both the junglers are going to hit the ground. Doran is going to hop into this one, but now Smash going to get knocked up by the Rift Herald, who is just spinning around and getting so much value on those knockups. It's insane. And the Ambessa is running wild in the back line as Showmaker now all alone, trying to just poke out Paze and Keria. And even Doran now getting pretty low. Shiu at least able to get that kill, but a stun lands on a Showmaker. And the engage code comes out from Nico from Keria. And it's going to turn it in favor of T1.
T1 just pulling magic out of nowhere with that team fight that honestly it felt like they had no right really to win. Down a lot of effect. You can even see like the animation didn't line up.
Oh, Lucid trying to start something here on a Keria, but more members of T1 than he expected. But here comes Smash doing a bunch of damage to Owner. In a lot of trouble, but actually Paze able to get the kill onto the Jarvan. So it feels like the junglers in this game are really make life hard for Shiu eventually in this lane. But also picked up a couple of those kills in that last fight, on top of getting a bunch of plates. So very far ahead in terms of gold. T1 looking for Chemtech Soul points. Just right now, Lucid is already chunked out a little bit. Culling comes down and a bit of a zoning wall is there. Lucid could have tried to walk forward, but not going to quite get it, as Ambessa in a lot of trouble here. But there's Keria with the 3-man knockup, and Doran is going to survive. They get into the back line. Career getting pretty low. Paze takes him out. Paze jumps forward into 3 and is going to have to flash away. Shiu not quite able to land the decimating smash, and DK not really able to pick up more off of the back of this play.
Yeah, T1 playing that very aggressively, and I think Doran and Paze nearly paying... Oh.
I mean, there are a lot of members there. Faker says, well, I have egg, but he doesn't have it anymore, and that's a shutdown that's given over to Smash.
Now he has Omelette, I guess. DPLUS gonna try and take this mid lane tower, will succeed at it. I think T1...
not really a good play at the end of the day. Paze very fed though. Does look like Smash is really trying to pressure him as much as possible. Paze getting cullinged out of this one, and the chase is on. Paze taking down another shutdown here for Smash, who is very rich in this game.
This is what Lucian does just so well, is pushing up mid lane with the backup of your, whether it's your Nami or your Milio, and anyone who tries to challenge you on the wave is under threat.
It's going to be a nice little test for Showmaker to see if he can get out, but does have a lot of help from his teammates. Flash comes out of Doran as he's looking for that kill still. And Faker does TP over. The rest of the T1 is trying to group up here, and Doran surviving for so long in this fight as he eventually, with the help of Faker, will be able to take out Lucid finally in this one.
Just feels like DPLUS are struggling really hard to cut through Doran right now. He's so bulky, so much survivability. I mentioned Smash will be pretty close to having him capped out.
Yeah. And we're really just doing a lot of posturing here for this Chemtech Soul as we're flashing right onto Smash. The follow-up is there from the side of Keria, but where's the damage? As finally a bit comes out from the side of Faker, and Lucid takes an E to the back. As Doran gets in front of that, and also there's the Anivia wall, so she was like, man, why am I playing Scion? The public execution does come in, as Shiu is taking a beating, but that is just a Scion. Showmaker trying to make a big difference here, but he's kind of all alone in terms of damage, and he just explodes in under a second. And the damage out of Paze right now is insane. Gonna pick up another one. A zombie Scion can do all he wants, but it's just gonna be T1 winning the fight, and they get the Chemtech Soul.
And this is why T1 went for this sort of composition. Oh no, he might be his old team.
Yeah, his old team. He has so much of the onus to try to carry this game and try to survive. He is going to get flanked and ultimate blown up immediately from 60% health. And just like that, I mean, Showmaker's also low. Like, you just can't do anything. Doran has a gigantic shield from the TP, and I don't think they're even going to get through that. I just don't see it happening. As the flash comes in, Showmaker able to rocket belt over the right side, and that at least is going to get him to safety, but it just feels like DK don't have an answer. They're not even that far behind on gold. It just doesn't matter.
The setups from T1, the target selection onto Smash, doesn't get to play the game, doesn't get to press his summoners, just gets exploded. And you lose that Lucian. That, honestly, very strong Lucian. 4 items, you just don't get to play the game. Showmaker can't do enough. He is fed, he is strong in his own rights, but can he kill 5 members of T1, including this incredibly hard to deal with Ambessa? The problem is they don't have control of the Elder area. They now have to push in aggressively to contest, and when you push in quickly and aggressively, it sets up flanks to happen. Now, they are looking for Owner here.
Yeah. It's actually a lot of damage done to Pays and Owner. Owner has to flash away, so that's potential engage button taken away with the flash at least. Doran says, well, I'm going to get some revenge as they're trying to kill him. That's going to be the miss on the ult here, and Doran just kind of walks it off. Here comes the Scion. As Doran this time will be forced to flash away, gets a big shield, goes back in on a smash, and eventually they finally get him. Both top laners are taken out in the trade.
This is big for DPLUS. T1 don't get their consistent engage. We've seen them find a recall stop as well. They can try to get back in with a TP. And now DPLUS are the ones who control this area. They're looking for more. They want to feel like they had the presence they needed, and they've just been pushed out again really quickly. They can't give this up, though. They need to push back in. Both top laners have TP and the ability to rejoin once they respawn. But that Elder Dragon is being cut down quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they have to get in here. Lucid, he looks like he is going to be the one that goes in, but the turn comes out from Keria. They ult on a smash, and again, he just dies, trades his life for the Nico, and the damage is just way too much out of Pays. Goes forward after Lucid goes in, and is just able to clean everybody up. Gonna get the GA out of Lucid, and both the carries are down. So at the end of the day, Shu is just left by his lonesome. It'll take a while to go down, but T1 will clean up the fight and look to push to end.
You know, I feel like the highlight of this series has been Doran, but the coordinated engages from Keria and Owner have just kind of been spectacular. Owner, who, you know, his KDA wasn't looking so pretty before, but he's doing his job every time. It's like Owner engages and Keria's there to follow, or Keria engages and Owner's there to follow, and the end result is Smash doesn't get to play the game.
Yeah. Lucid trying to clear the wave. He actually does do a good job of that, but he is, of course, going to die. And there was one cannon minion, actually, that did survive, so not the best job he could have done, I suppose. As Faker is going to zone away Smash. Smash hops over the wall, and they will just attack the Nexus and take it down. It's a clean 2-0 from T1 tonight as they get revenge against DPLUS Kia.